Ladies and gentlemen.
Now it's time for Brady Quinn's explosive mock draft.
And it starts with number one.
Number
Tennessee
one.
Titans. Yep, there's that. Yep. Probably the worst kept secret. The Tennessee Titans, who are looking for a quarterback. They're in the position to take the best quarterback. Did they field calls for the number one overall pick? You bet they did. Did they answer any or actually pick up and say, oh, yeah, we'll maybe think about doing that with you? Of course not. It's the Tennessee Titans taking quarterback Cam Ward out of the University of Miami, formerly of Washington State, formerly of Incarnate Word, the record-setting quarterback. It doesn't bother them that he only played the first half of the bowl game just because he wanted to set the record and then let his team go ahead and get beat in the end. A lot of people had Miami minus 3.5 in that one. They were not excited about that. That being said, Cam Ward, the best quarterback in this draft class according to many, he goes to the Tennessee Titans to try to turn around that franchise with the first overall pick.
Number two.
At number two, now let me explain something about this draft. This is not what I think they're going to do. It's not necessarily what I would do if I was in their position, although it's more that than it is anything else. This is partially, too, as far as how I see the prospects. So, at number two, the Cleveland Browns are selecting a guy that I think would be a menace for opponents. And a guy where you put him opposite of Myles Garrett, it creates a tandem that's going to be called Sack City. And I'm not talking about Jonas' old stomping grounds, okay?
Dang.
Abdul Carter, the edge rusher out of Penn State University. You pair him with Myles Garrett, it is a lethal combination. I know what the odds say. I know they say to take Travis Hunter. They could play him as a wide receiver. Maybe that's where Cleveland sees him. I see him more as a cornerback. I think you can mix him in as a wide receiver. That's where you get the most out of him. And it doesn't make sense for a fit for Cleveland if you'd be playing him a cornerback. Abdul Carter, he sure as heck does. So I've got Abdul Carter going number two overall to the Cleveland Browns.
Number three.
Shake up.
At number three comes in a player who, with his versatility, with his star power, his ability to impact both sides of the football, makes the most sense for a team who's looking for that sort of dynamic playmaker. And that's Travis Hunter, the wide receiver quarterback out of the University of Colorado. He goes to the New York Giants. He provides a weapon not only for Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston, but also a cornerback who can help improve that defense. So Travis Hunter makes the most sense here in my mind.
Number four.
At number four, it stays chalky. The New England Patriots, new head coach Mike Vrabel. You know he loves the trenches, and that's where he's going to go here with one of the best tackles in the draft in Will Campbell. It's a need for this team. They got to protect their quarterback, Drake May. He was under duress way too much last year, and Will Campbell is the guy that I really like in this spot as far as his attitude, his demeanor, high level of play. I could care less about his short arms. I don't think Mike Vrabel does either. So Will Campbell's the pick here out of LSU, a tackle for New England.
Number five.
At number five, we've seen a lot of momentum for this, and I think it makes sense, too, to add a playmaker to help out, take the pressure off Trevor Lawrence's shoulders, and that's Ashton Genty. He's the best running back in this draft class. He can really do it all, and I think he adds a boost to an offense that's tried to rely too much on Lawrence to carry them. Travis Etienne has battled some health issues, and even then, you don't have to necessarily throw Ashton Genty into the fire right away. He can slowly work his way in, as he did have a bunch of carries his final year at Boise State. But Ashton Genty, the home run hitting running back out of Boise State, goes number five overall.
Number six.
Las Vegas needs some help on the offensive line. And this is where I feel like the Las Vegas Raiders are going to try to build through the trenches. You look at Spydek, too, their general manager who they've brought in. He's typically done this in the past. And this is where I feel like they lean on one of the other better tackles that's available in this spot, Armin Membo out of Missouri. Makes a lot of sense in this pick to shore up the protection for Las Vegas moving forward. So I've got Armin Membo going number 6 overall to help protect Geno Smith.
Number 7.
This is one where I'm just drafting because I love the player, and I feel like he's he's versatile. He can do a bunch of things. He's a playmaker for them, and I think the Jets are going to need a little bit of that with Justin Fields to take the pressure off. That's why I've got him taking Penn State tight end Tyler Warren, number 7 overall. You can make the case for some other positions here. I just feel like eventually, given, again, his versatility, his ability to catch, his ability to run the football and do a bunch of different things, he's going to be a guy that I think you look at, even in short yardage situations. We know about the tush push. I don't know that you even need that with Tyler Warren. You just need a guy who can go into a quarterback sneak like he can. And so he can do a bunch of different things for this roster, and I think helps take some of the pressure off of what is presumed to be their starting quarterback in Justin Fields this year.
Number 8. Trade alert. Trade alert. Trade alert.
Yes!
Oh.
Yes!
Oh.
The New Orleans Saints at number 9 have been getting calls about teams trying to trade up with them. And they've got a specific player in mind. So they called up to reassure themselves they would be able to get this player by trading up one spot with the Carolina Panthers, since they didn't want to get leapfrogged like we saw in last year's draft where the Las Vegas Raiders found themselves without a quarterback. So, number 9, the New Orleans Saints trade up to the number 8 overall spot with the Carolina Panthers. The trade exchange is this. The Panthers, they move back one spot to the number 9 overall pick, and they also get pick 112, a 4th-round pick that moves them back and gives them an opportunity to still pick up another quality player. The Saints then select quarterback Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss. It feels like there's a lot of momentum building potentially. Some people have talked about them taking him, trading back up into the first round to take him. Why risk that chance? Instead, they go ahead and get the future quarterback and Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss here at the number 8 spot.
Number 9.
And this is where the Carolina Panthers now slide back a spot to take a player who I think is going to impact them off of the edge. They gave up Brian Burns. They need to replace that. It's going to be Mikael Williams, the edge defender out of Georgia. Makes a lot of sense for some of the needs that Carolina has here. He's that next guy kind of up. And I think it makes, again, sense for a team that needs to help improve their defense.
Number 10.
And finally, number 10, the Chicago Bears. This pick is a bit of a need, I think, for the Bears, but also a player that I absolutely love. And I think there's a lot of people who love him more than people want to admit. And I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't go off before this, but Josh Simmons, the tackle out of Ohio State, he can play outside, he can play inside. He is, to me, one of the more smooth operators at the tackle position, really on the offensive line in general. I think the world of him. I think he makes a lot of sense for protecting Caleb Williams. And for Ben Johnson, you go back to his time in Detroit. They built up that offensive line through the draft, continually went time and time again. I think it's a no-brainer here. They go with an offensive lineman. My guy, Josh Simmons, that's who I'd go with here.
Outstanding.
Very nice.